Hi, this is Don Clark at FileMakerProGurus.com and FM Database Consulting, and I'm at DevCon 2015, FileMaker version, and I'm talking now with Jason Ericson of Linear Blue. Jason, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here, and
thanks for having me.
Tell me about Linear Blue.
Okay. So Linear Blue has been doing FileMaker consulting for, 25 years now. Made up of 3 offices, basically. We have offices in London, where the company started, San Francisco, and Hong Kong. We kind of have an interesting value add that gives us. We're literally 8 hours apart in each location, so we can literally do 24-hour development for our customers that really need a product to get done quickly.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a interesting thing that worked out the way it did, and we're taking advantage of it.
What's your strong suit?
Our strong suit would probably be our deep experience. I mean, we've got 3 very knowledgeable, very skilled developers, myself being one of them, who've been doing this since FileMaker was Claris. A lot of us.
What was your first year?
My particular first year, and I'm actually a little behind a couple of the other guys. I think my first development project was 1995. So, boy, 20 years.
That's not too bad.
It's crazy how quick it goes.
So tell me, how'd you get started at FileMaker?
That's a great question. I was a philosophy student at UC Berkeley, planning to be a stand-up philosopher, and I took an admin job with an artist. And he would make his own molds, and I helped him do that, and sweeping floors, I did whatever. And one day he said, hey, look, my computer guy says you should use this thing called FileMaker, because I want you to build me a Rolodex. And wow, I mean, it just, the minute I started building that thing, I said, all the logic and stuff that I love about philosophy is actually a practical thing. It's not just some argument that people are going to have for thousands of years and never agree. So I went rolling with it and started looking for jobs, and got another admin job from there, and then eventually built up clientele.
I love to hear these stories. Everybody has a different way. A lot of times it's college, a lot of times, here, make this happen, here's this program, and that's exactly what happens to people. And then and for everyone, they all kind of go, I really like that. It made sense. And so, and
it's an interesting community.
For
right?
me, I bought an Apple store in 1989.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
and they were using FileMaker, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 in 1989. I don't. And they said, this is how we track our sales, and I looked at it for a little bit and said, okay, we can go somewhere with this. We can have some fun. So all my systems were built in FileMaker from that point on for all my businesses. So that's the only way I'll go.
I have just tons of little utility files that I used once or twice just to solve some problem that probably could have been solved somewhere else, to be fair, or an Excel problem, quick and easy. So,
they can do file and just get it done, and that's the way it works. So, so you've been in there for 20 years, and you're a developer, and you have multiple developers on staff. You also do some vertical products, don't you?
That's right, we do, So we make a couple products, actually. I'll start with maybe the simpler of the two. Product called FM Data Guard. It's a plugin for FileMaker, and it allows you to do audit logs, basically. But with those audit logs, we added some other features to the plugin to let you do roll forward and roll back. So correct for problems. If you have a crash, you can roll forward your best backup. And that's been a pretty successful product. We've had that out since, I want to say maybe 2007 or 2008. I believe. And in addition to that, our oldest product is something called, it's now SynchServer Pro. We literally released it this year as SynchServer Pro. It is a server synchronization technology. It also contains the ability to do audit logging, just like the other, but from server side. So you get the advantage of no performance hit to the client, because the client isn't waiting for any logging to take place. It's a server side process. But also with that, you have the ability to do live, hot standby. So FileMaker Server 14 came out this year, has this great new standby capability. That would really be a cold standby.
Yes,
a very cold standby.
Very cold,
and technically what we offer is warm part of the standby, because you have 2 live servers that are up and running, and either one can be used at any time. To call it hot includes some kind of switching, which we don't offer, but you can augment controlling switching with our product you know, either through a sophisticated router or through a very simple starter script or starter file in FileMaker that has 2 file references. And if one doesn't work, it goes to the next.
Right.
So, and of course, leveraging beyond that, you've also got the ability to set up multiple servers. So you're not even limited to 2.
Right.
So a lot of our customers use that not just for failover, but for load balancing, to be able to actually offload expensive report processes to a server that isn't going to affect anybody else's performance.
That's nice. That's
It's a very good feature.
Yeah, it really is.
And then the bread and butter, to be fair, is multi-site. You know, you can set up the office in New York and the office in San Francisco and the office in Botswana with their own server. So they're impervious to internet outages and they get local performance speeds.
And it syncs behind the scenes?
And it syncs behind the scenes, exactly.
Yeah.
So the product is...
for that?
It takes up some bandwidth, you know, I mean, it's a client connected to FileMaker that's doing a lot of work. So, you know, similar perhaps to an import script that's pulling in a lot of data. But, you know, modern FileMaker server has gotten pretty good at multi-threading.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, so, you know, most of those performance things are a thing of the past. And then kind of my favorite one, I use it for this all the time, and this actually comes in a free product. So there's a free version of the product that lets you install it on one server and talk to that server.
Right.
But what I use it for, if I take a client's database away and I want to work on it offline for a day, for a week, what have you, I can take that thing, do my changes, not change their data, you know, I can't monkey with their data, stick that version back on their server, tell our product to roll it forward, and it brings it up to date, essentially. No imports, no nothing, you know, so it's an easy way to do.
And what's this product name?
Well, this is SynchServer Pro, and this is the free version of it.
The free version of it.
The free version of it lets you do not only that, but local backup and restore, basically.
I didn't know you had a free version of that product.
This is as of this year.
This year,
This is the,
Make a note of that.
I probably should have led with that, huh?
Yeah. That's a nice loss leader from you.
Yeah, I figured, you know,
I'm gonna download that one right away.
Fantastic.
There's a lot of times when you wanna get something off site and then just take it forward like that.
Absolutely. So it'll be available for download August 1st, basically once we get back and put it all back up there. So
yeah, put out a press release or something like that.
We will.
And I'll pick it up and put it on my blog.
Oh, fantastic.
And you know, and I'll take a look at it and
cool.
And you'll see how it goes. That'd be great.
Excellent.
So tell me something about your personal life. You know, things you like to do.
I am an avid golfer. If I could, I'd play golf every day, all day long.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I play golf a couple times a year at this point. We're pretty busy. But for a little while there. Yeah, I like to do that. I'm a pet lover. I have a dog and love to go walking with my dog in our neighborhood. So we live in Oakland, California, and just love to tool around and hang out with,
I always like to ask that question about what you like to do, and earlier in another interview, the answer was I collect DeLoreans.
Oh my goodness, I'd like to do that too. Let me change my answer.
And then I modify them. It goes to the shows and all that kind of stuff.
I
had no idea because I didn't prep for that part of it.
You'll have to point him out to me. I want to become his friend.
Ryan. His name's Ryan, and I forgot his last name, but he'll be having an interview going up on here. We have slow internet access here, so it's not going up real fast. This won't be up for today or tomorrow even because we'd have to be here for 2 more weeks to get them all uploaded.
Of course.
But these guys, they've been pretty good to us. We're doing okay. So, hey, is there anything else? I mean, you have like a favorite plugin you like to use other than your own?
Yeah, actually, you know, my favorite one, I'm not going to remember the exact name of the plugin, but I do remember the name of the company, and maybe you'll know it as well. 2 Empower FM.
Yeah, that's Dracoventions.
Yeah,
Dracoventions,
okay, I just love that.
Yeah.
The ability to find on the relationship graph.
Have you used the new updated one?
I have not, so does that support 14?
Yeah, it does,
Oh,
and it searches the relationship graph.
Yeah.
So you can look for a term inside of there and find it, and when you know it.
That's so powerful, because those graphs can be just enormous, right?
You inherited some, I'm sure, that are just massive.
And no organization.
No organization, just spider graphs everywhere. And,
absolutely.
And you can just find it like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a real nice one. One of my favorites is Base Elements.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a nice one. And
is that Goya?
That's Goya, yeah.
I was just talking to them today.
Yeah, and that's a real nice one. Got a lot of plugins, and I mean a lot of just reaching out and grabbing stuff at the file level and so on.
Sure,
and some internet stuff. It's kind of nice, and I don't use those a lot. I try to stick strictly to FileMaker for most of my clients when I can.
Sure.
But sometimes you got to reach out and
Absolutely.
things you got to do. So,
Absolutely.
What's your favorite project you've ever done in FileMaker?
Oh boy, I did an Apple project once. Well, it was Apple subcontracted us to support one of their biotech companies.
Okay.
And I think what made it just a lot of fun was the exacting standards they had for how it had to look. And it was a lot of work. It was a real challenge to make it look like an Apple product.
Okay.
At the time, I think they were on the steel, I forget what they call it now, but brush steel
Brush
look.
steel, yeah.
Yeah, so it was not easy, but it was
Right.
challenging and it was really rewarding to finally actually produce something that they said, yeah, okay, that
That'll
looks
work.
good.
Yeah, that's high standards of design.
Absolutely.
The leading
Absolutely.
design company in the world for
Yeah,
hardware, at least, as far as I can tell.
yeah.
So, anything more you want to add about what's going on? Have you had a good time at DevCon?
Having a great time at DevCon. I'm happy that so far I have not fallen down. I was a little nervous about a week in Vegas, let's face it. 2 days in Vegas usually feels like a couple months, but fortunately we're kept busy enough in the product showcase to keep us from getting in too much trouble. So.
Are you, I know you've heard the non-disclosure and stuff, we can't talk about that, but general feelings overall, what do you think about the direction our industry's going, or our FileMaker?
I think I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the way FileMaker has evolved, especially just in the last few revs. I really feel like they've turned very smartly towards developers more than end users. I think for a while there was a lot of focus on trying to make the FileMaker experience to somebody who knows nothing about building a database. That was really the focus, and I feel like they've really turned back to building out critical stuff that makes it a good developer tool.
Describe it as a platform and focusing on that for small businesses, even medium and large businesses with work groups and stuff like that. There's a lot to be had there, and as my partner over here is fond of saying, it's one of the most underappreciated tools there is. It's one of the most powerful underappreciated tools that exists in the business world. And most people, when you say FileMaker, what?
Exactly. Or the one the one that makes me cringe is, wait, isn't that a flat file database? Like, yeah, it was 20 years ago, but so that's tough. But
you counter that as Access on steroids.
right. Oh, I had a guy try and tell me that Access was a more powerful database. I couldn't even talk to him.
No,
I just had to move on.
Sorry. You can hook it up to MySQL. Oh, so can we. Or MS SQL. Yeah, we can do that too. So
I would say that just in the last, I guess it would be 13, not 14, but and they added hiding.
Conditional hiding.
Conditional hiding has just changed the way I build systems. That and popovers, let's face it.
Popovers, even the sliders can be inside of there.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's ways it can do some stuff that are just really nice interface features. And allow you to use the interface real estate that you have in such a way that you can get more in there without building something that's too complex. I mean, it looks nice. For the user, they stay in one spot, boom, boom.
I've gotten kind of fond of, not for every system, but just putting them on a very much read-only design screen to present the data, and just popovers, popovers to edit where necessary.
That's where you can do it.
Or sometimes hiding, bringing something to the front because they choose it.
One of the age-old problems with FileMaker is that you're in find mode or browse mode. If you enter find mode and you think you're entering a new record, and you enter all the stuff and hit the button and can't find that record. Now, what do you mean?
And I used to say stupid users, but I have to admit I started using a database myself that automatically puts you in find mode when you go there.
Oh, really?
I don't know how many records I've created.
We've all done it.
I'm so conditioned to think on my browse mode.
Yeah, FileMaker's a little different. It's live data, and you got to be careful, and you got to make sure people can't do it. A lot of databases I've looked at or built back in usually 5, 6, 7, something like that. They open to the record, the first data entry screen, the first record, and that record is a mess. It's always a mess. That's the one that gets modified by somebody. When they first start typing, when they start using the database, they don't have a clue. So.
Yeah, that's great. You should just put an empty record in to just see what you get.
Well, now you put it into a dashboard of some kind, or a navigation screen, or something like that. We don't usually take them right to one. To a form. Yeah, to a form that can be entered. Sure. So.
How long have you been doing it? How long have you been doing
I
FileMaker?
started in '89.
89, wow.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I bought a computer store.
So that, oh, yes, of course.
And
that's
it was
right.
an Apple computer store.
Yeah.
And they were using FileMaker.
Yeah,
And I fell in love with it right away.
yeah.
So, and I did it for all my systems and all my businesses I had after that.
Was that Clarence yet at that point? I think it was. I think it was 88
Look
maybe.
at Michael
that-
over here. I think it was Claris at that point in time.
It had
was-
just
if not, it was
recently.
really shortly thereafter.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So, and I don't even know what version it was at that time. I think it might have been 1 or 2 that they had on the computers
Right,
there.
right.
You know, old Mac SEs. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe not Pro, FileMaker 1 or
It
something
was just
without a Pro
FileMaker.
on it.
Yeah, no Pro. Yeah. So,
That's cool.
been doing it a long time, and then started doing it full time about 4 or 5 years ago.
So what I'm going to interview you now.
Yeah. He wants to.
What inspired fmprogurus.com?
It's marketing.
Yeah.
It's marketing and raise my stature as an authority.
Yeah.
I consider myself good enough to be an authority, but you have to earn it, you know. You
Yeah,
have to get
of
out
course.
there and get people's attention.
And
do
give
stuff.
some,
give.
you know.
And I'm giving some stuff back.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've been to the website a lot, but I have a list on there of 150 plus downloadable free FileMaker example files
Wow.
from people all over the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
so
that.
if you have an example, and you can add it yourself. It's one of
Okay.
these lists that people, it's a public list type thing.
Right.
So if you have something, you can go on there and add it, and I'll curate it, of course, because I can't have people putting links in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, that aren't germane to FileMaker at least. And so that's one of the things I put out there, because after 2 years of doing this, I found that I had a lot of links with a lot of download files, but even I had trouble finding them sometimes.
Yeah.
Using WordPress normal
Right.
search techniques. So, but on this thing, it's got its own built-in, and you can, where you put in a keyword, and it just flies
that's
right
cool.
to it. So
And how long have you been doing interviews? And
I did my first interview a little over a year ago.
okay. So
It
there
was
must be a
Alexis,
decent library up there of,
Well, I haven't been consistent about doing it, so I'm making up for it here.
Yeah.
You're the 12th or 13th interview I've done
Oh,
the
that's
last
great.
2 days, and I've
That's
got several more scheduled.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for some more walk-ins. So
That's cool.
all right, so
I'll
that's.
spread the word, by the way, if you
I
want.
really would
If you
appreciate
want
it.
to talk to anybody.
I got a few cards if you'll hand them out.
You
I'll
bet.
hand them to you after the interview here, and
Cool.
if you let them know, that'd be great. Because anybody that has a story to tell about FileMaker that's interesting,
Yeah.
or if they just want to do some blatant self-promotion, then,
Right.
you know, that I'm here to help out. So
All right. I will.
I appreciate you coming up, and it was
Thank
very
you.
informative. Thanks very much.
All right.
And last bit of pitch for you, and for me, it's Don Clark at FileMakerProGurus.com and FM Database Consulting, and this is Jason Erickson of
Linear Blue.
.com. I want to make sure we get that in there too. Okay,
Outstanding.
thanks again. Take
Sure.
care.
Thank you.